In order to completely shift our state and to shift our mind, we must take on new belief systems. In this video, I want to share with you the 5 core belief systems that you must adopt to permanently change your state, to elevate your consciousness and stay there, to live in a new reality. Not this reality of the illusions of this world, of the physical things that are happening around you that you take in and absorb as fact, but tuning into the more real reality. Kabbalah calls this reality the 99%, or the endless world, the endless reality. Scientists call this the quantum field. But the point is, there is a reality far greater than the limited reality that we can see with our 5 senses. If we want to expand ourselves, to open ourselves up, to raise our state, to raise our vibration to higher heights, then we need to tune into something greater than ourselves. And this starts at the belief level. If you can truly adopt these 5 beliefs, then you will be living in a completely different reality. Now, these 5 belief systems that I'm going to share with you should be infiltrated into your mind, should be absorbed into your subconscious, and should be repeated until it becomes such a core fact and such a core belief that it is no longer a belief, but it's a knowing inside of you. It is a fact inside of you. Once you can reach this state, you've hit the jackpot. Your life will never be the same. Stay tuned. Hey Soul Fam, welcome to the channel. I'm Rosa, and if this is the first time that you're seeing my face, then welcome. It's such a blessing to have you here on the channel. Now, in my book, I wrote a book called Becoming a State Shifter. If you have already read it, leave me a comment, let me know how it was for you. But I wanted to bring to you in this video a concept from my book that I call the 5 axioms. Now, axioms mean, like I said, belief systems that are so strong that you no longer question them, that they are now just fact to you, they are just something you believe, they're not something that you have to convince yourself of because you so strongly believe it. And in the book, I expand upon and explain these 5 axioms, but I wanted to bring it to a YouTube video because I was reading through my book, I was reflecting on the teachings and the wisdom that I shared in there, and I believe it's just too powerful to not bring here and to share here because I believe that it can make a major impact on your life as well. Now, real quick, before we start getting into the 5 axioms, I want to share this video's sponsor, and that is me and my coaching and my offers. Number 1 is the book that I wrote. So if you guys have not already read it, it's called Becoming a State Shifter, as I mentioned. And in this book, we talk about how to permanently raise your state, change your state of consciousness so you can not live in the illusionary world, as I call it in my book, but you actually begin to live in a miraculous world, a world where you see opportunities everywhere, a world where everything is good. And a lot of my core beliefs and wisdom that I brought into this book comes from teachings from the ancient wisdom of Kabbalah, which is an ancient mysticism that decodes the Old Testament and explains how the stories, they're not meant to be just taken as literal history lessons, but they're meant to be practical ways that we can improve our lives today. And one of my missions is bringing the mystical, the intangible, the out there concepts and making it practical, taking ancient wisdom into the modern day. How can it apply to us in this world today? I really love making things practical and easy to digest and easy to understand. So I pull from teachings of Kabbalah, I pull from teachings from Joe Dispenza, different discoveries, and I also pull from Neville Goddard, who also, by the way, studied the ancient mysticism of Kabbalah. At the end of the day, I pull from all the different resources that I have gathered and experienced in my own life and the way that I have seen results in my own life. So if you are interested in that book, then you can click the link in the description to purchase the book. The second offer that I have for you is a mini course called Life from Scratch. Now, Life from Scratch is a 4-week course that dives into how you can recreate your self-concept, recreate your life from scratch, A to Z, within the span of just 4 weeks. A lot of people think it takes a lot of time, like months and years, to make significant changes in your life. But with Life from Scratch, you will find that you can actually create a completely new self-identity within just 4 weeks or less. Honestly, within the first week, you're gonna start seeing results and you're gonna start to see your manifestations flowing in like never before. And the last thing I would like to mention is I have one-on-one coaching slots open. So if you'd like to book one-on-one coaching with me to get crystal clear on your desires and to really see where your blind spots are and what is blocking or hindering you from actually reaching and calling in your desired manifestations so that you can completely transform your life. So if you're ready for that kind of change and accountability and support, then I have all kinds of options for you, like texting support, we have video calls, we have audio messages, we got a bunch of options. So check it out All of these resources will be in the description. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Once again, this makes it all possible. This is how I can bring you all this free content, and I appreciate you guys so much. Now let's dive into the 5 axioms. Now every person watching this video is going to desire something different, right? You might desire to manifest a dream house. Another person may desire to manifest a relationship, another income. Like, everyone's gonna have something different. But regardless of what you want to manifest, regardless what you want to attract, these 5 axioms remain the same. These 5 belief systems everyone will want to adopt, so that every other manifestation that comes after it becomes easier and it becomes effortless. You start to live in a higher state, a higher reality, and then naturally start to attract things from that higher level. Because the higher reality you are, think about it, the creator is like all the way infinitely at the top. When we can raise our consciousness, we're actually raising ourselves closer and closer to the creator, closer and closer to the truth, closer and closer to this endless reality, this 99% world. So we want to elevate our state in consciousness, because the closer we get to God, the closer we are to be the creators of our reality. So let's get into it. The number 1 axiom is that you are the co-creator of your reality, that you create things with your thoughts, your beliefs, your actions, your words, your intentions. You are creating everything in your external world through the subconscious. When you understand how powerful that is, that the creator, the source of all the infinite planets and stars and galaxies is living inside you, and you have been hidden from this truth and not fully embracing this understanding, of course you're gonna feel limited. But when you know the creator is inside of you and you feel that power moving through you in your life, then you're unstoppable. There is nothing that you cannot achieve with this power of the creator inside of you. And the creator is 100% inside each of us. This gives us each the power to create our reality, to mold it to what we desire it to be. When you understand you have the power, then you can start working on the next steps of manifestation. You can start getting specific on your desires, but you can't manifest anything if you don't have this core belief that you can, that you have that power. The ancient mysticism of Kabbalah teaches us that we need to view our life and our world as if it's just us and the creator. This world was made for you. This world was made for me in my experience. This world was made for you in your experience. And the idea is that there are infinite parallel realities that we can tune into, that we have the power to tune into, but it's up to us to decide which one are we tuning into. So we're literally creating our experience with every choice that we make. When you have zero doubt that the creator is moving through you, and then you can take control of your reality, then you're not gonna have any resistance to manifesting, because you have no doubts that your desire is gonna come into fruition. And also, when you realize that you are the creator, you are creating your experiences, then you no longer have to be in victim mode to your 3D, to your external circumstances. You realize you have the power with the creator by your side. You are co-creating, because at the end, like in the endless world, we are one, but in this physical experience, we are limited, but we have to understand we are still connected at all times, even if we don't feel it. But we need to adopt this knowing so that we can tune into that source, tune into that power, and elevate ourselves. Okay, so that is the number 1 axiom we must adopt. Number 2, the second axiom is God is only good. Now this can be a hard one, because this world is full of suffering, right? From our perspective, from the human perspective, things seem unjust. Things seem unfair. We don't understand why things happen. Why did life deal us these cards? Why did life deal other people the cards that they were dealt? It's very easy to think God is a punishing God. God is not good. But the true essence of the light, the creator, God, source, is a force of only unconditional love, unconditional sharing, unconditional sacrifice. And the light is always shining on us. It's constantly in our life. It's constantly shining brightly into our lives. It's always here. Even when we're in the depth of depression, the light is there. So why can't we see it? How is God good, but we don't feel it? We don't see the light? And this is where we get into deeper concepts that Kabbalah touches on. But there's something called klipot, or energetic shells or curtains, that are built up that the human being has, that are like curtains that block the light from coming in. So we're on this like lower dimension, you can say, of reality where we're unable to access that light all the time. But when you raise your consciousness to a high enough level, you are able to see the good in everything. You're able to see maybe not the whole scope of why something needed to happen, but you still have the belief and knowing that there is a reason for why everything is happening, and things are not just by accident. We are here to elevate our souls. Earth is a soul school. Our souls come here for a temporary experience. To us, it feels like a long time. To our soul, it's like this. And I learned that from watching testimonies of near-death experiences and people testifying of how they went back to true reality after their life ended. Sidetrack. The Creator is always here for you to tap into that unlimited resource, but you need to decide it. And when this becomes an axiom, when this becomes this belief that you just know that everything is good, you begin to see it. If you're not looking for the good in everything, you're not gonna find it. But when you start looking, you start telling yourself this belief, God is only good, everything is working out for me, because the Creator has my side, the endless source, who I am, is always elevating me on my journey. When we know that, we see it more. And when we see it more, we attract it more, because what we focus on grows. Okay, so that is the core axiom number 2, God is only good. And of course, we could dive into these way more, but I want to give you the axiom so this video is not an hour long, okay? Number 3 is you are in control. You are in control of so much more than you think. You may feel like you're a victim. You may feel, I don't want to put words in your mouth because everyone's on a different process, but you might feel, and I know I did, I felt like I was a victim of my circumstances. Things just happened to me. Things just were thrown my way without any understanding that on some level, and this may not be conscious, but on some level, we created this experience. Now, this can be a hard pill to swallow, especially when our life has dealt us unfavorable circumstances. And again, there's always these paradoxes when it comes to spirituality, because you need to raise your awareness to be able to really tune into this understanding. When we feel like we're not in control, we become a victim to our reality, we become a victim to our circumstances. Now, being in control doesn't literally mean that we are pointing our fingers and controlling every outcome. What being in control means, it means being in control of our responses and our reactions to our external world. Instead of taking things personally, being a victim to our reality, understand that because in some subconscious level we created things, and Kabbalah teaches us that we were all born into this world with something called a tikkun, or a correction, meaning that our soul sometimes is born into this world already being dealt with unfavorable circumstances, already having, whatever the situation is, that we may be born into a situation, or we see other people who are born into situations that are just simply unfair. They simply just do not have the opportunities that other people have. Now, of course, here's the paradox in spirituality, because two things can be true at once, is that no, we do not create everything in a physical level, but there's always a source. There's always something going on higher behind the scenes that we're not fully seeing. Because that soul came into this world with this correction, this tikkun, something they need to overcome, that's not something that's in our control. What is in our control is when we become conscious of these things that we were born into. Are we going to be victims of our past experiences, or are we going to tune into a new reality and use our imagination to expand ourselves beyond what we know? Everyone can do this. Yes, some people may have more resistance than others due to the circumstances they were born into. I'm not denying that. But the way that you respond to situations, that is in your control. You can take the cards you were dealt and the subconscious beliefs that you were impressed with at a young age and change them. You can change them now. It's not too late. It's never too late. So when I say you're in control, I'm not saying everything is your fault, because you were most likely programmed with certain beliefs that just continue to manifest. So it's not about faults. It's about understanding our soul's process. It's about understanding that we can change our process by changing ourselves internally. It is our job to see what lessons are here for me. What can I learn from this? How can I grow? How can I be better from this experience? How can I do better, think better, create a better outcome for myself and my future and for the world around me? If I remember that I am the creator, then I can control and change the situation. But if I'm not the creator, if I don't have that core axiom, then I believe the situation is controlling me. I am a victim. But if I believe and I have that axiom, I am a creator, boom, I'm able to then take that power to be able to move through this next step, which is remembering I can control and I am in control of my reactive behaviors, my responses to situations, and what I create in the future. What's done is done, what's past is past, but you can change your future and you can change your future experiences and future reality. remembering this core axiom. Now, the fourth core axiom we must adopt is that all things are possible to God. We live in an infinitely abundant world where infinite potential realities exist for us. This means that you're never stuck in your current circumstances. Things can always change. Life is always moving. We are never stagnant in one area. If you can think something, you can achieve it and you can call it in. All things are possible to God, meaning all things are possible to you. When we are in this miraculous world, we're tuned into this higher elevated state of consciousness. Impossible is not a word that exists for us. We can make the impossible possible by understanding the power that we hold. The fifth and final core axiom that we must adopt is that your desire is the word of God. I cannot tell you how many times I personally and have seen other people feeling shame for having desires. And now listen, one of my passions is talking about desire. When you have a desire, think about it as like little clues that the creator is showing in your path and moving you forward towards. When you follow your desires, it's like following the breadcrumbs in your life. And it can actually be this really fun adventure of like, what's the next thing? What's the next desire? And trying to realize your desires, taking the necessary actions and the necessary steps to actually manifest your desires into reality is a powerful, powerful thing. Because when you can take a desire and manifest it into reality, you are being the creator. And the more creator like we are in this life, the more we are living out our purpose and our potential. The way I think of desire is it is God's word speaking to us through our desires. God is giving us signs of where to go through our desires. Oh, I want to have a healthy body. Why? There's a deeper purpose and reason behind just looking good. There's something you need to do. There's something behind this desire. There's depth to desire. And a lot of times when it comes to manifestation in this community, I see a lot of superficial desires and like whatever, no judgment. Like I said, I don't feel bad about your desires because they're clues for you. They're stepping stones to get you to fulfilling the purpose that you're here. And this is what I'm passionate about, is getting beyond the superficialness of our desires, moving towards them, yes, because by seeking them out, by seeking their fulfillment and their manifestation, we become closer to God. Then again, there's a whole lot of complexity in this I'm not going to go into right now, but desire is very, very important. The point is, when we have a positive desire, something that's lighting our soul on fire, that feels really aligned with ourselves, and we're in this higher state, you are meant to receive it. You are meant to have it. If you have a desire and this desire can lead to you being a better person, for example, receiving money. Maybe to some people, if they don't have the right intentions, that money could be used for negativity. But if you receive abundance, if I receive abundance, where could those resources go to actually better the world? So our desires are just clues. We're still meant to receive the desire, but how can we receive it from a sharing place? Meaning we can give back from receiving our desires. If you're in a loving relationship, it doesn't just end with you. And I talk about this a lot in my book. I expand upon this, but a loving relationship does not end with you and the person. It extends out to the world. How will you two work together as a team to give back to the world, to be an example of love for other people? Everything, if we have a desire that ends with us, it's limited. But if it doesn't end with us and extends beyond us, then it's an unlimited desire. And what is the creator? The creator is unlimited. So if we want to be like the creator, we need to have limited desires that don't end with us, that extend beyond us and reach the world. So those were the core 5 axioms. What do you think of them? Do you feel like these are things that can be adopted? If you would like any support on adopting these beliefs, I have book, I have the course, and I also have coaching. So all of these resources are available for you if you would like further support on really embodying these axioms and beliefs and adopting them into your subconscious. But of course, as the creator of your reality, you have all the power to make this real for you. So I'm sending you so much love, so much happiness, abundance, just positivity in your life. And I hope that you receive all the desires that you are desiring to manifest. If you made it to this point of the video, leave a comment of a smiley face emoji to let me know you made it to this point of the video. Love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.